welcome to Win, Lose, or Cry, Maple Leafs podcast. We got some games. We got some interesting games this week to talk about, and we got some all-star stuff to talk about, some stuff around the league. It's actually going to be a pretty good podcast. Let's just start it off. Actually, I'm going to throw it to you first, Chase, if you don't mind. Leafs vs. Red Wings, 7-4 win. What do you think?
To be honest, I didn't really get to watch too much because I was watching other games, bouncing back and forth. But from what I saw going into that third period, the Leafs actually showed a lot of gumption to make the comeback, to really show that they had the ability and the firepower to even take over a game when the chips are down. And that's something that I keep going back to, the adversity for a hockey team they got to face, they got to go through. If you can have that ability to score multiple goals, let alone just one for a comeback, that shows that a team is starting to get a little bit stronger. They're starting to believe in themselves. So that's going to help them move forward. And any type of more adversity that keeps coming at them, as they saw in that first New Jersey game, like they didn't panic. They just stuck to their game. They made the right moves. They stayed calm, and everything flows from that. And it also helps that Marner is just he's just on fire right now.
Marner has found his stride.
Yeah.
It's 16 points in 7 games.
What's he at now?
Like,
he's got like a 7-game goal streak, doesn't he?
6.
It's 6.
Is it 6? I thought it was 7 after last night.
I thought it was 7 after last night.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, I think because he scored
7
last night too. I'm pretty sure he extended it to 7 after they won last night.
Yeah,
but
watch the highlights out of order.
Like, looking at these games here, I mean, anyone who thought the Leafs can't score or lost it, they still have it. Like, they can still put that puck in the net time after time after time again.
They can
20 goals in 3 games.
They can outscore themselves out of any predicament.
And we saw it in the Red Wings game.
Yeah.
Like, Mrazek, that was Mrazek's 4th win of the season, right? Brandon, I know that you've been hesitant on him, about keeping him, about not keeping him. I personally think he played a good game.
Looks good.
I mean, the Red Wings scored 4 beautiful goals. Like, those were good goals that they put in the net.
I think maybe one was you could have had it, but I don't think any of them. I don't think any of them were bad goals though. Maybe.
No, I agree. And I said it. I think it was episode 1. I said that Bunting reminds me of JVR.
God, he's so good.
And that he had the deflection on the shot from the point as his first goal. He had that 180 spin around, batted out of the air goal. And then he had the third one where he shot the puck from pretty much the edge of the crease. Like, he scored that hat trick within sticks lengths of the net.
No,
he dominated the front of the net that game.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was this the game where Marner got the assist on one of Bunting goals? I'm pretty sure it was. And Marner deked through 4 guys, passed it to Bunting in front of the net, and Bunting kind of backhanded it.
It may have been his 3rd goal, his hat trick one. I know that, I forget who it was. Someone carried it around, kind of around the boards, across the middle of the ice. Bunting peeled off, went to the center of the net, and then the puck ended up on his stick. And pretty sure he pulled it across and went backhand, or pulled it, went forehand. But he scored it right in front of the net there.
That's not the play I'm thinking of, but.
I think I know which goal you're talking about. The one where Marner comes through the middle, cuts through 2 guys, and slides it back door.
Yeah,
underneath 2 sticks, right?
No, it was it was at least 3 of them, and he got through them, passed it hard to his left side in front of the goalie, and then Bunting was there and backhands it in.
I don't remember which goal it was.
I think we're thinking the same one.
I watched the highlight a couple times. It was good. I just cannot remember the team.
Yeah, Marner is looking like a $10.9 million player right now. Like, this is the Marner that I expect.
This is what we expect.
He looks good.
Yeah,
he looks really good. I mean, they're 1 for 2 on the power play, which is pretty good. I think it was on the broadcast last night or the night before. The Leafs are number 1 in the league with 30% on the power play right now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Deadly on the power play.
They found their thing. Now, and it's like we keep saying, having Bunting on there is as a weapon. Marner on there as well, because Marner's scoring on the power play. It's great. Matthews on there as a weapon.
Yeah.
you have before they'd be like, okay, focus on Matthews and focus on Nylander, and then we're fine. But now it's like any of these guys can put the puck in the net.
Oh, and honestly, Tavares is putting the puck in the net this year.
Yeah.
Riley's he's not scoring, but he's putting up big assists.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a big comeback they had there. And I all in all, I thought they played a good game.
I think they played.
I mean, the Red Wings came out really strong, and the Leafs definitely turned it up in the back half. But all in all, I think throughout they played a good game. I think Mrazek held his own. I thought it was a good game, and I was glad to see them win it.
I didn't like their first period. The second period they were down still, but I liked how they played in the second. I thought the first it was one of those nights where they just forgot what time they started. And the second, even though they were losing in the second still, I thought they were playing very well. And then the third, obviously,
they turned it on. But, see, I thought they actually had I wouldn't say a good first period, but it was decent. It wasn't like in the past where they just didn't show up.
No, it was. Just,
I thought they had a decent first period.
It wasn't like before where it was like clearly they're lazy and slow. It was some dumb mistakes and dumb turnovers.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. We're playing a team that's not high in the division. We should be able to win this game. Yeah, you can kind of ease into it. It's kind of what it felt like. Yeah. And then as soon as the Red Wings came out as hot as they did. Looking as good as they did, the Leafs turned it around. I mean, but other than that, I mean, I was happy to see Mrazek get another win. That's the second time beating the Red Wings this year. I was happy. I mean, the Leafs went 60% on the faceoffs. They're still absolutely dominant on the faceoffs. So that's all I have for that Red Wings game.
Yeah, same. All
right.
Move on to the Devils game.
Go ahead, Brandon.
It was a rough first period. I'll say that much. Camp 6-4 wins, so that's good. But man, that first period, Campbell letting 3 goals in less than 10 minutes, getting yanked.
Yeah, nine shots on net.
You don't see
3 goals.
You don't see your starter get yanked 10 minutes into the first period very often.
Not usually.
He was just having a bad night, I guess. Like they weren't good goals. At least 2 of 3 weren't good goals. So
no. One of the Devils' goals was good. I forget which one.
The second one was like a snipe, or is like.
Yeah.
All right, I'm like that was a good shot. The first and the third though were real soft.
Bad rebound control on the third one.
Yeah.
What do you? You're gonna have a bad night.
Taking a break from the Leafs for a second, Jack Hughes is incredible.
Yeah.
He is going to be very, very good. He actually surprised me with how good he played in those 2 games.
He's got silky smooth hands. The vision is there, and his shooting is getting.
He's got speed. I mean, he had an absolute beautiful snipe in the second game. He was the only one to score in the second game. He's good.
Yeah.
Yep. He
is good. And we're talking about other young players coming up, but I'm excited to see with the NHL what's going to happen in the next couple of years.
Yeah, he's good. He's really fun.
Yeah, he is. But so talking back to the Leafs about Campbell getting pulled, Mrazek putting up a .950 save percentage.
So he's not injured
right?
anymore.
No.
I
mean,
good.
Said he played good against the Red Wings. He put up a .950. He let 18 shots, or saved 18 out of 19. 5th win of the season.
He looked solid.
So he did.
And they had some good scoring opportunities.
Yeah. It wasn't like they put 19 shots on net from the point or from the outside. Like they had some good opportunities, and he had to make some saves.
Yeah, I think there was
he did.
There was one highlight reel save I remember. It was like he barely got it with his blocker.
Yeah, he looked that, and that's exactly what I was expecting out of Mrazek.
Yeah. Right.
I don't want him to be a starter, but I want someone that you can rely on, as a backup. Right, someone you can put in. Like you can pull your starter and put him in. Yeah. You can put him in against the Red Wings. Like you can rely on him, right? Because in the past, you can't put Hutchinson in, right? Like, we haven't had, when we had Anderson, we didn't have a reliable backup.
No, he never.
And that was our biggest. Yeah. We as fans, and I'm sure the players knew this too. As soon as Anderson wasn't playing, we have like a 20% chance of winning that game.
Yeah.
The only way we're gonna win it is if we score 7 goals.
Yeah, it would be like a 7-5 game every time.
Exactly. Whereas after these 2 games that Mrazek played, I feel a bit more confident now. As long as he can keep staying healthy, this is what I wanted to see out of him.
I think I was fairly skeptical up until now.
You haven't seen him play.
Exactly. That's the problem. I saw him. My biggest issue was, is this guy gonna be able to play? Because when he did play and he was bad, I know he's a good goalie from before, but I'm like, he keeps getting injured. Is he trying to play through these injuries and that's why he's playing bad? Is he gonna ever be healthy? And I was skeptical. I think fairly skeptical.
Yeah.
And now that he's clearly healthy, we have a good goaltender.
Yeah, and you know what? And they've got a week off now, or just about a week off now, so he can rehab or rest up, do whatever he needs to, do some light training, and then we go into a pretty crazy February schedule.
Very crazy February schedule.
Yeah, so he's going to be relied on. Matthews put up a hat trick after going 4 games without a goal.
Yeah,
like just flipped the switch and turned it on that game.
Just when he feels like it.
No kidding.
He wants the depth to get a couple goals. He's like, Bunting, why don't you get a Hattie tonight? I'll help you out. I'll get a couple apples on your stuff. Get me some assists. These 3 games, that line was deadly. Oh god, that top line is disgusting.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would be interested to see how many points between the 3 of them they put up.
I'm very curious.
Like they were deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underratedly, the second line is kind of tapering off a bit. That Nylander-Tavares pairing, I think that the line's been struggling a bit points wise. I mean, compared to the top line,
but like I said, that top line just produced that way these 3 games, right? Like they haven't been producing that way.
Earlier in the season, I understand that. I'm just like, into January, I haven't really been hearing, Tavares and Nylander coming up as much. You know what I mean? They might just be...
Not as much. I mean, okay, but so that, again, like I just said, like that's the last 3... You're talking the last 3 games, though, Brandon.
No, I'm thinking, January.
4 games ago, they played the Ducks. Tavares had a goal and an assist. Nylander had a goal and an assist. They both had 6 shots on net.
It might just because the last 5 games have been such high-scoring games with so many goals, and it's just
and the fact that the last 4 games that top line just absolutely dominated.
Gross,
right? Like it was disgusting how many points they put up.
Spets is putting up some goals too. I'm liking that.
Yeah, he had a goal both games, didn't he?
Yeah, he was getting a little quiet, and then I was actually watching the game, the Monday night game with my dad, and we're like, man, I haven't seen Spezza do anything in a while. He's slowing down a bit, and then he immediately scored.
Yep, and he had the game opener last night, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe so.
Against Devils, I think he scored the first goal. Yeah.
Yeah, and the second one.
Just nice little in front of the net. I like it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go off topic here for a second. Did you guys see the goal last night that the Calgary Flames scored? Let me see if I can pull it up. What was?
Don't think I did.
Yeah, with Goudreau.
I didn't
Goudreau, Shillington, and Lindholm.
Yeah.
Where it was tic-tac-toe.
You want to talk about absolute chemistry? Grant, have you seen it or no?
No, I haven't seen it.
So the 3 of these guys skate over the blue line, and I think I counted, they made 6 passes before putting the puck in the net. Like, just tic-tac-toe between the 3 of them in a very short window, and they put it in. It was chemistry at its finest. Like, that's what it was. They just knew where the puck was going and where it was going to be. If you get a chance, you got to watch it.
Watch that after this.
It was impressive to see what they did. Yeah. That's all I have for the first Devils game.
Chase, you got anything?
I mean, Leafs.
Really, the only thing that I have is I would have actually kind of rolls into the next one. I would have kept Mrazek in. I would have rolled the hot hand.
All right, well, let's go into the next one and start us off.
Well, there's not really much to say. Like, it was just box score wise. Like, Shots says something different about it, that if it was a blowout or not. But from watching a lot of the clips that I was seeing or through the highlight pack, that it was mostly the Leafs playing. Like, the Devils had some good scoring opportunities. Like, you're always going to have some through games. But a lot of the shots were coming from a pretty reasonable spot. The defense was standing up and keeping most of the shots to the outside. But I still, I'm a big believer in whoever has the hot hand should be starting. And right now, Mrazek has it. I get it, you're trying to get the confidence back in Campbell, but right now, with the comeback win against the Devils the night before, and Mrazek only played a section of the game, I would have started him anyways just to give Campbell the more rest.
No, I'm glad they sat Mrazek, just because he played Saturday night. Then he played Monday, and you're playing on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because he played almost 51 minutes.
Yeah, he
of the Sunday night game.
He played most of that game Monday.
So putting a goalie in for 5.5 periods in 2 nights is a lot.
And like you said, Chase, confidence. Like, Campbell's been playing good all season. He had a bit of a slower January. And that's not normal. That Monday night is not normal for him. And you don't want him going on a week break in his head, I let in 3 goals and 9 shots in less than 10 minutes. You put him in, you're like, hey, you had the night off, you're better than that. Even if you lose, you're going to at least end the week off better than that.
See, now, to Chase's point, though, if the Leafs were playing tonight, I would have played Mrazek. The only reason I wouldn't have played him last night is because it was a back-to-back. If the Leafs were playing tonight instead, I would have gone with Chase's idea. I would have kept the hot goalie. I would have played Mrazek. I would have let Campbell rest up because he's in the All-Star game this weekend. Right? So, I mean, the All-Star game's not that difficult, but you've got the save streak where he's going to have to perform.
Yeah.
He's still playing against the top players in the NHL, so he's going to have to perform this weekend. Mm-hmm. So if they had the break in between the 2 games, I would have gone Mrazek. Because they didn't have that break, I think it was smart to play Campbell. And he played a strong game last night.
He did.
He did. Like, and it's a good bounce back game. But the way I was looking at it is, if I'm even sometimes where I've been in that scenario myself, and it's nice to almost sit back and almost refocus. And everyone's been saying, well, you can't start Campbell too much. You can't play him too much. Right there was the perfect moment where Mrazek hasn't played much. Yeah, he's played the last 2, pretty much we'll say the last 2 games. But how many games has Campbell had to string together, and where it's been 4 games in 5 nights, or 4 games in 6 nights? Like, at that point, you can Mrazek. It looks like he's strong enough. The groin's there.
I wouldn't chance it though.
Things where I think he would have easily been able to handle it. But I know where they're coming from. I understand the premise, but for me, it's always been, I know it's hard, but sometimes you gotta ride that hot hand so that way you can get confidence in your backup as well.
I think they did.
Yeah,
I think it worked. I think it worked. He got 2 wins in a row. Yep. And he was able to step in, and he was the hero, right? Put up a .950 save percentage. He saved that game and turned the morale of that team around.
Yeah,
right. If he got in net and let in the second or third shot, that game was over.
And it kept going into the second Devils game because I mean, the Leafs just dominant through the entire game. There wasn't a first period slump or anything like that. They just
no.
It was like, we're winning tonight.
They stopped right from the first face off. I forget who it went to, but they won the face off and dumped it into the Devil's end, and the puck stayed there.
Yeah.
they put the gas pedal down and just held them.
It was an NHL team versus a Pee Wee team. That's what it looked like. It was just
well,
a shit.
Okay, so 7-1 victory. You got to keep in mind though, they had like the Devils right now are having.
Yeah.
They're having because they pulled their goalie halfway, right?
They were on their 4th and 5th goalie or their 5th and 6th. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah. 4th and 5th. Yeah, like it'd be like us putting Joseph Wool and Hutchinson in against the Avs. Like that game is not gonna go well for us.
I mean, hey, you know what? Take the 2 points.
Yeah, well, exactly, right? It was one of those. It sucks for Marner. You have 7 games where you put up 16 points, and now he's got 6 days off in a row. Like when you're hot like that, you want to just keep going. And he actually made a statement today. I didn't actually read the whole thing, but he essentially said, like, I wish there was no All-Star break right now. Mm-hmm. Like he wants to keep this momentum going.
Makes sense.
It's too bad that he can't. I mean, it's too bad he's not in the All-Star game either. But man, that last night's game, it was a good game for team morale, right? Because across the board, everyone got points. Yeah. So it was a good game overall. I mean, and it puts them in reach of first place. Man, They're back on track to potentially get in that first place spot.
Man, I just watch every time I'm watching these games now. Man, how good is Michael Bunting? Like Dubas, especially
for less than $1 million
for 2 years. He had term too. It wasn't just
I know.
Like Dubas,
I know.
Beautiful.
Him, who has term that we got this year?
Richie.
Is it him, Richie, Mrazek? Is Camp term?
Pretty sure him and
I know Kasha's 1 year.
Kasha's 1. I can't remember.
I know Kasha. I can't remember if Camp was 1 or 2 or not.
I want to see.
Either way, Camp's price won't move.
No.
It might go up by $250,000 or so, maybe half.
Negligible.
But it's not. Cash's price is going to go up.
Bunting's is going to go up. Oh.
We're probably going to lose Kasha. But luckily we have Bunting for term. Yep. Like we have him for another year. So we'll see. I mean, I'm loving Kasha too. He's playing great.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I think that's it for the Leaf games.
That's it for Leaf games, guys. That's a win. That's a win in my book.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like 2 comeback
6
games
points
and then a shit kicking. That's a good week.
Yeah, that's a good way to go into the All-Star break.
Yep. Oh, fully agree.
Yeah. Now after the All-Star break, let's stick with the Leafs here before we go around the league.
Okay.
After the All-Star break, who are the Leafs playing? Do you know? Here, I'll pull it up right here.
You want to go to the next game now, eh?
Oh no.
That's
so we go into Carolina and Calgary.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then we have Canucks and Kraken, but that's like 2 weeks from now. But yeah, so between now and the next podcast, there's only one game, and it's the Hurricanes.
Okay.
Who I'm pretty sure they lost 4-1 to last time. Is it 4-1 or 4-0?
I want to say 4-1. I don't remember him being shut out many times.
4-1. Yeah, 4-1. And then we play the Kraken for the first time ever on the 14th.
That should be a win. That should definitely be a win.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. So yeah, we have one game between now and the next recording.
Okay, but then we also get to talk about the All-Star game. We get to talk more of the skills comp. We'll have like a nice little...
We get to talk about the skills comp where the NHL ripped off my idea.
Okay, do you want me to go over the NHL All-Star skills comp right now? Because I have the descriptions of the 2 new games.
If you'd like to explain how the NHL ruined my idea, yes, you may.
Okay, all right. Let me just write down. James is angry. That is...
James... Okay, on a platter, I gave it to them. A great idea, and they took half of it and screwed up the rest of it.
Okay, so for All-Star game, All-Star Skills Comp is this Friday at 7:30. The game is on Saturday, but we're more invested in the Skills Comp. I think that's a pretty fair statement.
Yeah.
So, 7 events. There's I'm not going to say all this. All of them have a different sponsorship, and I refuse to say all the sponsorships. It's a waste of my time. So there's the Fountain Face-Off, 21 and 22.
Both of which do not have sponsorships.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
All of them have a sponsorship at the beginning of them.
I didn't think they had
Yeah,
sponsorships.
they're all like the Honda Fastest Skater and the Chevrolet.
That one I knew. I didn't think the Fountain and 21 had.
They're really long.
Discover is the NHL Fountain Face-Off,
Yeah.
and I think it's some type of mobile company that has the blackjack.
Oh.
We don't care. We're not giving them the time. They're not paying us yet. So
No, they're paying the NHL
Yeah.
millions of
You have to
dollars.
give accurate information, Wilkes. You got to say it all.
okay, Fountain Face-Off, 21 and 22, Fastest Skater, Save Streak, Hardest Shot, Breakaway Challenge, Accuracy Challenge. So the 2 new ones in that, like we know most of these. We know what most of these are. The 2 new ones are the Fountain Face-Off and the 21 and 22. I'm going to go over the Fountain Face-Off first, and then we're going to talk about James's stolen idea. So
I'm going to jump in real quick.
right.
What is the save streak?
So
I don't remember that.
It's they'll have 2 goalies on either side, and then they're essentially getting breakawayed on, and the goalie gets they get like a little clock of how many saves they make in a row, and whoever has the longest streak wins. It's essentially a goalie competition.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they go through almost pretty much the entire Eastern Conference on a Western goalie, and they keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whatever goalie has the longest save streak. So, like, if let's say you have 10, and then someone scores on you,
You're at 10.
then you're at 10.
You end at 10. Okay.
It's kind of fun.
Man, I feel bad for whoever's against some of these players.
All right.
Yeah.
Fountain Face-Off. The Discover NHL Fountain Face-Off will be staged at the Fountains of the Bellagio. 8 participants will travel by boat to a rink in the fountain. They must successfully shoot pucks as quickly as possible into 5 targets placed in the water, fighting through the spray of the nearby fountains, because at the Bellagio they have the fountains that are spraying out, right?
Yep.
And qualifying players move to the head-to-head final. So it's kind of cool. It's like an accuracy challenge with obstacles.
It sounds dumb to me.
It could be really cool or it could be really shit, because with the fountains and stuff, there is the possibility of nobody getting anything.
Well, that's my fear. Like, imagine being in the finals going head to head, and a fountain is the reason you lose.
It's like being in the NFL and losing a coin toss, and then you don't get to get a possession in overtime.
Well,
Like,
at least it's
for Bill
something.
fans?
It's something
Would
different.
suck.
It's something different.
It is something different. I
It would've-
get that. I'm glad they're doing different things, but I don't see. In theory, it sounds interesting. I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's gonna pan out, but I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Right? Like, are we shooting them into like a hula hoop in the water?
know.
Are there nets set up? Like,
I would say, though, this is a lot better than having players stand up on the
Yeah,
third
up in
deck of the rink and
It
try
is.
to foster it into obstacles and having a drunk Brett Hall almost fall into the mesh in front of it.
it is.
That was the best part.
It's a better idea, but
It
I guess
almost-
this kind of replaces part of the relay. right? 'Cause it sounds like
bring
this-
back that relay.
They should have brought back the relay. They should have built an ice rink down Las Vegas Boulevard and done the relay from one end of the boulevard. Maybe not the whole thing, because it is a very long road, actually. If you've ever been there, Las Vegas, it's a very long road.
I've
Do
never
not
been.
try and walk it.
No.
Not try and walk it.
But with the
Especially
speed,
hungover and
the
sick.
skating abilities of these guys,
with COVID.
they should do the whole thing.
Yeah.
They can handle it.
No, I don't think so. But how cool would it have been to see, like, down the strip, you have someone skate straight line as hard as they can, then, like, and then you go to the Bellagio where your passers have to hit their 3 saucer passes. Then, like, Vegas. Okay, Brandon, 21 and 22.
So 21 and 22. And we've talked about this a couple times where we were saying, hey, what about like a dartboard poker kind of thing?
Yes,
And-
yes,
yeah.
I have.
So 21
Several times.
Yeah. So 21 and 22. There's going to be a full deck of oversized playing cards on a rack, and essentially it's hockey blackjack. Players will try to build a hand that equals 21 in the least number of shots without going bust by shooting pucks at the cards. The player who wins 2 rounds is crowned Puck Shark. It will be a 5-player field. So we all thought the better way, and we said this on other podcasts, James has said it a lot, poker, not blackjack, poker. Because, well, James, I'll let you say it. What's the biggest issue with this?
The way they ruin this is giving a player a hand of blackjack. No matter what, it's 5 cards. You get 5 pucks. Every shooter, there's only 5 of them. Every shooter gets 5 shots, right? You can hit 4 aces and a king. You can hit 2 aces, a king, a jack, and a 3 because your accuracy is not good. And that's how they should have done. They should have given each shooter 5 shots. It would have equaled 25 shots. Instead, they said you get as many shots to get 21 with as little shots as possible without going bust. Meaning you're going to see players potentially, this is potentially, but you're going to see players walk up, take 2 shots, and be done. And that's it.
The time between players will be longer than the actual event.
Like it could be. It could be.
If it's 2, like, the time it'll take for them to shoot 2 is a lot shorter than them walking off and the next guy coming on. That kind of sucks.
Yes, and that's why I wanted 5 shots across the board.
Yeah, but poker, 5-card poker.
The other thing though, too, is a lot of people when they think Vegas, they think casinos. It's not
blackjack.
Poker. They think of blackjack.
I get that, but you know what?
Everybody knows what poker is.
Fruit.
But you know what? Poker is gambling, and what's Vegas known for?
Gambling. No one's gonna be like, blackjack. Oh, blackjack. I'm glad they didn't play that other game. Like, I don't know. I've never heard of poker. Like, if you know how to play blackjack, you know how to play poker.
You know what? I'm glad they have a deck of cards set up where we can shoot a puck out. I am happy. I am happy they did half of my idea because forever. I get to say the NHL took my idea.
Hey, we have the proof.
We have the proof. Go back, 6 weeks ago? 5 weeks ago? Like, I've been talking about this for months now, saying, oh, wouldn't this be a cool idea? Sure enough, the NHL's like, that does sound like a pretty good idea.
Thanks, James.
Yeah. But they changed it, so I can't sue them.
They could at least subscribe to us. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm happy. I'm not so sure about this fountain thing. However, I am happy they're doing something different, and they're doing Vegas things.
Yeah.
Because the Bellagio, the fountain show at the Bellagio is really cool. If you ever get a chance to go, you have to walk up and see it. It runs like... Sorry?
Should you be sober to watch it, or can you watch it inebriated? I'm pretty sure you've seen it both ways.
You can in Las Vegas, you're allowed to walk up and down the street with alcohol in your hands. It is the only part of America where you're allowed to walk around with open alcohol.
You know what's
I think I gotta buy a plane ticket. Give me 2 minutes.
You know what really sucks? With all the restrictions and stuff, that would have been great for one of our bachelors.
Oh yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Oh, it would have been fantastic.
We could have just combined them. And
honestly,
like, I would have been cool with that.
Put them together and let's go.
One big thing.
That's the whole thing. I don't want to be in charge of trying to make sure one of you guys is back on the plane.
Oh, I don't care. Leave me there. Leave me there. I got some words with Bettman. Yeah. All right. So all in all, I am excited for this All-Star game.
And I haven't been this excited in a while for All-Star stuff.
No, I'm kind of upset that... Actually, not kind of. I am upset that Ovi and McKinnon aren't going to be there.
Yeah.
Adam Fox, I don't care as much about.
We expected Ovechkin not to go. He never goes.
But like when you have realistically, who's going to be there for the hardest shot competition? Ovi has a hard shot, which is underrated. And then for the fastest skater, McKinnon is your number 1, number 2 guy to be there. Like you've got
for a hardest shot, maybe.
But you've got McDavid, you've got Larkin, you've got some of these guys who are going to be very good.
Yep.
Is Larkin going?
Yeah, Larkin's there.
Okay. Yeah, you've got. He had a beautiful goal against the Leafs. Yes, wow, that was a good goal. But I'm sad because I wanted to see McKinnon and McDavid go toe to toe for speed. I
Same
wanted
here.
to see it. And I mean, realistically, McKinnon, suck it up. It's only a broken nose. Like, you can skate through that.
And
Honestly,
a concussion
Okay, I didn't know he had a concussion.
and a broken orbital bone.
I mean, for hardest
He's not going to
shot,
get hit while skating.
He had surgery to fix whatever went on there. His nose was an S. Did you see the
Well,
picture?
No, I haven't.
That's
Oh.
awesome.
Oh,
No, all I know
his
is
nose
he's.
is like over here.
All I know is I'm missing him for fantasy right now. Him and Fox, I have in fantasy. I'm missing them
You're
both.
welcome.
Good God.
Because when
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
first
How's Makar? How's Makar?
when we first made that deal, Makar was hurt.
Yes, he was. Yeah. So, but all interesting. All in all, take out the two new things that Vegas are doing. We got the fastest skater, hardest shot, an accuracy challenge that we always have every year. I'm glad they have the breakaway challenge and the save. I'm really excited for the save streak.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
Now the breakaway challenge which breakaway challenge is this?
What
Is
do
this
you
the one where they actually try to
Yes.
score, or is this just for fun? I think it's gonna be for fun.
I think so. Like you're gonna see guys like you're not gonna see them come like barreling in like it's a shootout to win a full game, but you're gonna see them do some. They're gonna try to score, but they're going to do some fancy stuff. You're gonna have between the legs. You're gonna have lacrosse moves.
We have both.
You're gonna
don't
have
we?
Ovechkin putting Canada
That'll be-
flags in his helmet.
That'll be,
Two
the break,
sticks.
that'll be the breakaway challenge. Another
Brent
save
Burns putting on a
Chewy mask.
Chewbacca
streak.
mask.
That was
Yeah,
great. I still remember that.
yeah. It's gonna be exciting. I'm excited to watch it. Hopefully, I can watch all of it. But yeah, we'll see, and we'll talk. We'll go over it and talk about it next week when we're back.
Oh,
All right, so jumping kind of around the league here real quick. Nazem Kadri. So I want to talk about him for a second because I think for as good as he's actually doing this year, I think he's still a little underrated.
I think so too. People aren't talking
Because, well, people, everyone's talking about how good he's doing. He got voted into the All-Star game, which was well deserved. But let's keep in mind that, yes, he is playing on the Colorado Avalanche, which are an absolutely dominant team.
Yep.
But how many injuries and setbacks have the Avs had all year?
Too many.
Right? Like, you've had Makar's been injured once or twice now.
Yep.
McKinnon's out on his second injury of the year. Rantanen was out. Was Landy out too?
Landy had a suspension. He missed a couple games due to COVID.
Well, and so so take out the COVID thing. That's all injuries without COVID, because the Avs have been hit hard. Bo Byram, yep. Like, and then on top of all that, the Avs have been hit hard with COVID, but they haven't been hit hard at once. It's always been a couple players here, a couple players there. Like the amount of actual full roster games the Avs have played are not many.
No.
And Kadri's kind of been like that one player, other than when he was out for COVID. He's been like that one steady player for them, and he's carried that team. Like it's not like he's piggybacking off the other guys. He is the guy this year for you guys.
Yeah, because like there's games where they will elevate him into that top center slot, and then they'll have Rantanen and Landeskog, or he'll have Rantanen and Burakovsky. But a lot of the games he's playing with Newhook and Nichushkin, or Nichushkin and Burakovsky, or like the last couple games he was playing last night. Unfortunately, was their first home loss in 19 games. 19 games.
19 games.
They had won 18 at home
18 home wins in a row.
They haven't lost in regulation at home since October.
Yes.
What were you telling me the other day? You were reading off a whole bunch of stats. Was it you that were reading them to me? No, Chase was. You were telling me about them. You sent them to me. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Keep going. I'll see if I can find it.
But yeah, so like he's been bouncing around like in the lineup, and regardless of where they put him, like last night, I'm pretty sure one of the line combination he was playing with was Rantanen, and they had Sakura, who's like an AHL bottom 6 forward, and he still puts up goals. He's putting up points. This year, in 41 games so far, he has 19 goals, 41 assists, or 60 points. To put this in perspective, his highest point total his entire career was back in 2016, 2017 with the Leafs, 82 games, 61 points.
Now, with that was a very bad team he was on.
Doesn't matter. It's still point totals.
It is, and
he's also plus 20.
Hold on, real quick side note. That 60th point he got, that was dirty. That was, Brandon, did you see it?
No, I haven't.
Oh my goodness, it was.
We don't
like
call
you talk
him
about
reason.
you talk about patience and you talk about hockey maturity. He just waited and just made it look so easy.
Yep.
And just glided around. All right, Brandon, you ready to hear these? You ready to hear these numbers?
Yeah.
Or hear these things? So Chase sent me this.
Okay.
The last time the Avs lost at home, Edmonton was number 1 in the league. UBS Arena for the Islanders was still closed.
Okay.
Jack Eichel was a Sabre. Coyotes hadn't had a win yet. Buffalo was in the playoffs. Crosby had only played 1 game. All arenas were full capacity. Get this. Colorado, Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Vegas were all out of a playoff spot.
Oh, that's right.
That's how long it's been. Other than the other night, that's how long they went without losing at home.
Jesus.
It's the fucking altitude.
I'm telling you, man.
Who did they lose to? Who did they lose to?
Huh?
Who did they lose to?
Arizona.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And 3-2 in a shootout.
Did I tell you, Brandon? Did I tell you, good teams lose to Arizona?
Yeah.
This is the thing, though. So just a quick side note off Kadri is Arizona. They are offensively and defensively an awful team.
Yes.
But
they'll
they have
bully you.
3 solid young goalies in Wedgwood, Vemelka, and Prosvetov. If they could put something around those 3, they could be halfway decent.
Just wait till this offseason when they make a bunch of moves and those 5,000 fans get to watch them.
Not
just
even.
you wait.
Not even
Just
5,000.
you wait.
Did you hear?
It could be 3,200.
Yeah, 3,200 because they have to make edits because the visitor
NCAA.
Yeah, the visitor facility isn't up to par, so they have to take away the seating. You're not a team.
I know.
That's how
No.
how
They
is this
should.
okay?
Gary Bettman should step in and just move them.
Who's the GM? Who's the owner of the Arizona Coyotes?
I don't even know.
It's a new group. They recently bought them.
They're blackmailing They're blackmailing them. They have to blackmailing them.
I feel bad saying this because it just comes off me being like kind of racist or anything. But I just gotta say this. I'm pretty sure he's like a Mexican background who loves hockey. Who's got money. But the problem is they're trying to keep it where it is right now, but it doesn't work.
No.
If you need a temporary arena, move it to Tucson where your AHL team plays out of.
Why was that even a possibility? Like, oh, let's go to the building that holds... Every OHL team has more capacity. Every CHL team has more capacity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pathetic.
Every ECHL team has better capacity.
But what's crazy is about this whole thing is they didn't have money to pay their taxes, yet they have all this money to put all these upgrades into the arena.
And so it's less money to go there and make the changes than it would be to pay.
They owed 1.3 million.
I don't know.
Did they not?
Yeah.
I think the university is also kicking some money in because it's helping them get a better facility.
I don't think so. From what I heard, it was all being funded by the Arizona Coyotes.
I don't know, man.
There's still some negotiations going on. The last I heard was there could be some money coming in for like boosters and whatnot, but
maybe I don't.
They
need to move that team. They just need to move that team.
A waste.
Keep the name Coyotes. Keep the name Coyotes. Just move them.
Montreal.
Move. Go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
I know it won't be Quebec because Bettman apparently hates
It won't.
Canada.
It won't be a Canadian team.
Because you'd have to realign the divisions again.
Yeah. It will not be a Canadian team.
Houston.
Yeah, that's where they're
sense.
saying the next team's going to go.
Does make sense.
They have an NHL ready arena. They have the fan base that they can take it. It either has to be there or Kansas City because that's the only way you can keep the divisions aligned.
Well, and they're kind of saying those two are going to be the next two teams, right?
Yeah.
When the expansions happen, that's where they're going to go, and it all comes down to money, right?
Yeah.
Relocating a team, there's no money in that.
No.
Right?
There's no
A
money
buy-
in Arizona.
Yeah, but a buy-in is $1 billion. That makes up for how bad that team is.
Yeah, but like, so what? You're just gonna let that team fester and be shit until someone pays for it?
Yes.
Well,
They only got to wait like 2-3 years. Once
they?
Austin Matthews goes home.
Do you think he's gonna go there and play in front of 3,000 fans at
If
max?
If I was him, I would take a 1-year, $15 million contract and go play. Yeah, why not?
Because he'll
He's
get
going
$15 million anywhere else.
But he gets to go home.
He's going
And
home.
play in front of nobody.
That's fine.
Fans
Only
will
half
show
the,
up because
only
of-
half the time though, Brandon. Only half the time. The other half the time he goes to real arenas.
The way I see him, he seems to like the lifestyle of being, best friends with Justin Bieber.
He likes to be in the limelight.
Yeah.
That's
Arizona,
his thing.
he's gonna be like, so
Wherever-
we have nothing.
Wherever he goes, the limelight's gonna follow.
No
It's
matter
Austin
what.
Matthews.
No matter what.
He could change. Like if he could go to Florida, because you don't really hear much about them other than they're a solid team. You'd get Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews
Yeah.
goes to Arizona. That franchise changes hands down.
Yes. They have fans coming in the building. They have more sponsorship deals. Like him alone brings a lot of money.
He will,
there.
but you're essentially starting from scratch. And what is he gonna do? Like, do you think he's gonna want to?
Well, how many years is left on his contract? 3?
2. Well, 2 after this year.
2. Okay, because they're supposed to have their new arena completed in 3 years.
The way I see it, like, you look at McDavid. Do you think he's happy wasting his time in Edmonton? Do you think
No.
Matthews, if say the Leafs don't win for the next 3 years, right? So just say they don't win. Do you think he wants to go to Arizona and be like, yeah, I'm for sure gonna win a cup in Arizona?
Depends on what
He
they do. The next
might.
2 years.
That's the thing, Brandon. They have 8 draft picks in the first 2 rounds.
But they don't.
They've got solid gold. Like they could. Big could.
If you look at the last how many years that they've been doing this, they don't.
How many of those years?
They don't draft well.
How
They don't
many
coach well?
How many of those years have they had 8 picks in the first round?
But
in
they
the first 2
don't.
rounds.
But I get that. But they don't.
They can
have the
move
money,
those
but
picks
they don't
though.
have the money to pay players. They have an internal cap of like minimal cap. Right?
Trust me, if they have a shot to get it, like if Austin Matthews says, "Hey, I want to come home,"
Money's going to be moved
they will
around.
start spending regardless.
There's a better chance of me watching Star Wars Episode 8 again than Matthews going to Arizona. Like, no.
I highly disagree.
If
Not
he
happening.
signs in Arizona, you have to watch that movie for 24 hours straight.
Great.
You want
You
to
know
take
what?
that?
Touching on Florida real quick, like you said there, Chase. No one talks about them. We're going to talk about them for a quick second.
Okay, I like that.
We're going to touch on them twice, actually.
Ooh.
First, the Florida Panthers scored 73 goals in the month of January,
They cheated.
which is the most a team has ever scored in the last 25 years in 1 month. How stupid is that?
So dumb.
73 goals.
Like,
And the
we
thing
all-
is, it's not even the top, like the top 3
It's
the
the
majority of it.
entire team.
Like last game, Mason Marchment, who actually played here in Hamilton when the Bulldogs first came from Belleville, was like a third liner, maybe fourth. And my brother and I, we thought, oh, this guy's going to. He had 6 points.
Well,
You-
what was their? They won like 8-4 or something like that, and 9.
8-4 against
Yeah.
Columbus. That didn't help me because 7 of them went in on Merzlikins.
Oh,
But we're not going to talk about that.
we've all been
Hey
there.
man, I had Campbell in the other night. Like I feel you.
Yeah,
The
3
fact
is
is,
7, Brandon.
He had 6 saves and 3 goals. I was not
Yeah.
happy.
Okay, but you know what? We don't have save percentage. If we did, you'd be in a worse boat.
7 goals on 18 shots. Yeah.
3 goals
But
on 9. Oh, I
Mason Marchment had a 6-point game. McKinnon, Ovechkin. There's someone else. There's about 4 big names right now in the league that don't have a 6-point game. And Mason Marchment
He does.
Has a 6-point game. That's wild. Like that shows you the depth of that squad and what they're doing right now.
Like, we knew they were going to be good, but we didn't know they were going to be this good.
I thought I thought they were going to finish number 2 in the division.
I think I put them as number 2 too, didn't I?
I did. I put them as number 2.
Who'd you have as number 1 there, James?
I'm pretty sure I had
the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I think I had.
I stand by that.
I think I had Tampa, Panthers, Florida, Boston. I think that was my 4.
Yeah, I don't remember what you had.
I'm pretty sure.
No, you had Boston pretty high, I thought.
The rejig one, we switched Boston to 4th.
Oh, that's right. I think I had Boston above. I think I had Toronto 4th and Boston 3rd.
I had them at 4th the whole time. And you know what? Looking at the standings, the Leafs still have a chance to jump Florida right now. So they're 8 points behind them with 5 games in hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right, so they still have. I mean, the Leafs are still in competition for first place. It's between the Panthers, the Avs right now for first.
What's
Tampa
at?
Wow. Tampa's at 66 points in 46 games. But okay, more scary than that, like the Avs are at 68 points in 44 games. So they have 3 games in hand on the Panthers and 68 points. Holy crap, they're good, Jace.
They went on.
They're
They went on a tear.
9-0-1 in their last 10.
Yep.
Oh, 19 points out of 20 games.
Better get as much as you can out of Kadri while you have him.
Trade him.
Sell
him hot. No. Stanley Cup run.
There's a couple different things that could be happening inside the Avs. There's some pieces that could be moved out to make room for his cap hit, but I think he's gone in the offseason, sadly.
So where do you think he's going?
He's going to Philly.
Montreal.
Okay, why? For both of you, why?
Because Montreal... you want to go first?
So you go, Wilkes.
I was going to say, Montreal needs everything. Kadri is from, Canada, from more likely Ontario, but at least it's closer. And Montreal has no goal scorers, and maybe Kadri wants to come back to Canada. Not going to come back to Toronto, but he comes back to Canada, goes to Montreal. They get a great player. That's a good start for them. I mean, they're not going to be this bad next year. Let's just get it. Like, their injury, they're what is it? I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're at like over $90 million spending on the cap, with LTIR and stuff like that. They're spending more than everybody because they have so many people in long-term injury reserve. They're going to be better next year. And if you include Kadri in that, and depending on what happens with Price too, that can make a nice resurgence for the team.
It could. I don't think he's going to either team.
Where do you think he's going?
I don't know.
So
I don't have an answer. I heard. I forget. It was on a podcast this week. It may have been 32 Thoughts. And they said maybe the Islanders, which I thought was an interesting.
I could see him there.
Thing. Yeah, because the one thing they don't have is goal scoring. So it was either the Steve Dangle podcast or the 32 Thoughts podcast. It was one of the two of them that I heard it on, and that was kind of the one that stuck out to me. I know that one of them mentioned that he might go Montreal, but I can't see that happening. I can't see him wanting to go to Montreal. But I don't know. Like, you got UBS Arena is a brand new arena. The Islanders are supposed to be a good team. They're just terrible this year, and he would be the number one player in the Islanders, would he not?
See, and that's what he'd want. Oh, I think I lost you guys. Oh, there you are. Oh.
No.
What was it, Brandon?
I lost you guys for a second there.
Yeah, but what were you saying about 1C?
I was gonna say he'll be the top guy there, right? In Colorado right now, he's second, right? He's below McKinnon. But if he goes to Montreal, if he goes to Islanders, he's gonna be the top cheese, right?
But so the only reason why I don't see him going to Montreal is they've openly said they're going to a rebuild. So there's no way he's going to go to a team that's going to rebuild. He's crossing. He's going to be 31 at the end of the season. Gallagher's even thinking about possibly requesting a trade.
Yeah,
just because he doesn't want to be there for a rebuild.
I just think it all depends on what Price is doing. To be honest,
I think it comes down to how much money he wants and how many years. So here's another question I had. Could the Avs offer him like $6 million a year for 8 years, but structure the contract that he gets paid up front? Because you look at Mitch Marner's contract, he's only making like $900,000 a year because he was paid up front for so much of his contract. Like, could the Avs sit back and say, "Look, Kadri, like, we'll pay you $6 million times 8 years, so he gets that big paycheck, and then just heavy load him up front. That way, if he's 35 or 36 and wants to retire, he's only giving up less than $1 million a year when his AAV is $6 million or $6.5.
Yeah, but like he could go anywhere and make 8 or 9.
Yeah, so
he could, but if they only offer him 4 years, right? What's 9 or what's 8 on? It's on 8 on 4 years is $32 million.
I think at 31 he'll get a 6-7 year deal.
And he might.
Yeah.
The only issue with front loading a contract like that is you have McKinnon that comes up at the end of the year. Then you also still have to bring back both goalies if you're going to keep Kemper and Francouz.
Yeah, but front loading it doesn't affect the cap.
No.
Right? Like they can pay him $6 million per year every year, but be like, "Oh, your first year, here's your $15 million bonus." Right? And then year 2, here's your $10 million bonus. So that by the time year 3 rolls around, he's paid 90% of his contract already. And then the remaining 3, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever's left, he's making league min pretty much.
That could be an option. The only thing, though, too, is right now, I know, especially like from seeing like Puck Empire and whatnot, is Philly is opening up a lot of cap space. And they're looking at possibly moving Giroux out on the deadline because the Avs have actually called on him.
I heard about that.
To me, that is showing that you're trying to move out an older center. He's, 35 now, if I remember correctly?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
You're trying to move his contract out, and that's where they've already been linked to kind of being they were linked to a leak that said that they were being prepared to offer an $8 to $9 million contract if Kadri hits the open market. So they're going to make a strong push because he's a Philadelphia style player, hard nosed, can score.
Yeah.
So and he'll fit in great with Travis Konechny as long as they don't trade him.
You know what's going to really affect his value is this playoffs.
Yeah.
He's got to be able to play at the full.
If he can go without being suspended,
that's pretty sad.
He is getting top dollar.
Pretty sad.
If he gets suspended in the first round, he automatically loses $2 million.
Oh, easily
off his contract. Easily. Like, what's the point of signing a player for $9 million if you can't use him in the playoffs?
I bet Colorado's kind of like hoping.
No,
this is their year for the cup run.
No, like get suspended in the like they're up like a 3-1 series lead. Kadri gets suspended for the remainder of the first round.
That happened last year, and look what happened to us in the second round.
But he was back. That's just
he didn't even get to play in the second round. He was suspended for 8 games.
Yeah. Was it the year before or 2 years before?
It was when he played for the Leafs.
Yeah, it was like
they suspended him for the remainder of the series.
Such a weird suspension.
Which is it's the biggest bullshit ever.
That was pretty much we don't want the Leafs to win.
Well, yeah, it's like, hey, there could be 2 games left, or there could be 4 games left. It's like, oh well, you know what? Both. We suspended him for both.
It made no sense.
So, yeah. All right, I want to talk real quick about Trevor Zegras.
Oh,
I want to talk about Trevor Zegras and the Michigan.
What
goal.
A beauty!
I am going to go out on the record and say this. I said this, the All-Star game, that they should use a hockey or a cards deck, and that happened. So I'm going to go on the record right now and say that Trevor Zegras has single-handedly changed the NHL. He has now gotten 2 points via this Michigan goal. I don't know why they call it the Michigan. I haven't looked that up.
Chase,
So there was a player at Michigan University who tried it back in the early 90s and actually then Forsberg tried it at the World Juniors, pulled it off, but it all started at the University of Michigan.
So they call it that makes sense. So Trevor Zegras this season, his rookie season, has now gotten a goal and an assist from it.
That's crazy.
The two most important things, however, are not the points that he received. It's the fact that other players are now utilizing the Michigan as an offensive threat.
It's a thing now, right? It's another thing the goalie has to think about.
Not the goalie, the defenseman.
No, the goalie has to think about it too.
He does, and they're already adapting. Because Montreal's goalie, he did. When he jumped to the other post, he jumped high.
Yeah.
His shoulder came up. Like he jumped preparing for something to go on. I don't know if he was expecting it or not, but when he went across, if you actually watch the replay, he did come up shoulder high in that, but Zegras was too fast and beat him.
But it's just in his head, he's like, oh fuck, that's Trevor Zegras, get up there.
And but the reason that I think it has changed, because this is the fourth time the goal has been scored in the NHL. All against Canadian teams. We've talked about this prior. Yeah. All 4 times against Canadian teams. All 4 times against different Canadian teams.
Not against Toronto.
But the reason I'm saying it has changed, because other times when it's been done, people have attempted it, but they've always attempted to score the Michigan. Like, Svechnikov scored it, and other players tried to scoop the puck and put it in the net. Forsberg did it. Other players tried to scoop the puck and put it in the net. What we are seeing this year, which has changed everything, is Zegras did it to get an assist.
He's not just doing it for this specific goal. He's using that skill set to do different things. Here's
the difference, though. It's not just him. Mm-hmm. There have been 2 assists this year that have come from people faking the Michigan. Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Right?
They're using the skill set of the Michigan, not just for the Michigan, but to make different kinds of plays. To make passes, scare the goalie with a fake, actually score the Michigan. It's not just the Michigan, it's that skill set of being able to scoop it and carry it. It's crazy.
Well, not even scoop it, Brandon. You had who was it last week, Chase? We talked about that did it.
Well, you talking about Svechnikov and the fake Michigan for the pass?
Yeah, so Svechnikov had the fake Michigan, went for the pass, got the assist on the goal. This past week, Huberdeau did the same thing. He was behind the net. He went for the scoop, passed it out in front. Sam Bennett stepped in, scored the overtime winner. Florida Panthers win. So you're seeing it be used not only as a way to score, but as a way to set up plays and throw the defense off their position. So I think that's the first reason why it's changing the NHL. The second reason is because how fast he did it when he actually scored. He came in with so much speed, scooped that puck, and put it in effortlessly.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Absolutely effortlessly. And if I'm a coach in the NHL, you have to deconstruct your defense and make a play for how to shut it down from now on. Yeah. If you don't, you are going to lose.
Yeah.
You need to get your 2 defensemen lined up so that when a player is behind the net, one of them charges. You cannot give a player any room. Because when Svechnikov scored both of his, he was pretty much standing still behind the net. Right?
Yeah.
Zegras came in for a wraparound, essentially, and did it. The reason I think that is so important you can have a player now, like, people know it can be done at speed. At speed with ease. You can have a player like McKinnon or McDavid come down the boards, come behind the net, and as they come behind the net, you can just imagine watching McDavid reach down as if he's going to scoop the puck. As a defenseman, what are you going to do?
You got to bull rush him.
Yeah.
You got to bull rush him. With the amount of speed that McDavid does, what if that's a fake? Instead of scooping it, he goes for it. Defenseman steps in to make the hit. McDavid swings up and around, throws the puck across the crease. Player's right there. Yep. Right? You have to look at it from an offensive threat. Look at the Maple Leafs. Imagine you had Nylander, who's incredibly fast, come down, go behind the net, fake the scoop, and instead of going for it, he catches Tavares, who's slower entering the zone, and sets him up for a one-timer right there. True. It has absolutely added a new level of threat for offense that the defense and goalies and coaches need to take seriously, because I do genuinely think this is not the last time we've seen it done this year.
Oh, no.
This is not the last fake missing we've seen this year. Oh, and over the next couple of years, you are going to watch the NHL change.
So how many people are going to try to do it during the All-Star?
I hope only one.
Well,
and I hope the only player to do it is Zegras.
I think during the actual game, I think there's going to be a couple people just like messing around.
No.
You won't be able to see Zegras do it because he's in the breakaway challenge, unless they're going to allow him to go behind the net.
No, like I think he's going to come. I think he's going to come down, scoop it, and do the 360 spin and fire it.
Oh, you think he's going to do lacrosse?
I think he should do, just because like he's done it twice now in games and got points. I think he's got it. He's got to seal it and be like, I am this guy. This is what I do. Like, yeah. And so
if you want to see like some real fancy stick work, YouTube Robbie Schremp in the AHL skills competition breakaway challenge. He does it where he scoops the puck up, he brings the stick up like a lacrosse stick, and he actually twirls it back and forth. Pulls it back underneath and he actually shovels it in.
Well, that's
like Robbie Schremp was one of the originals to start that whole move and make the lacrosse kind of hand movements actually work well.
And it's just gonna keep getting better and better year after year. And sorry,
it's what the game needs. Like we need more of that offensive skill to shine.
Yeah.
Instead, like we went through the time frames where it was heavy hits, then it was goon fighting. Like that was exciting. Now we're slowly switching into we're now in that fast-paced hockey skill era. Where
I
like it.
Let's see it shine. Like do what you can.
However, bringing up good old John Tortorella.
Oh God.
I don't care about what he said about the goal. I'm not going to talk about that. He says you can't ruin hockey, old-fashioned hockey, yada yada yada. I think he's right about one thing, and the way to shut down the Michigan is body contact.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I saw a couple highlights where players were able to get their stick and smack the stick down before they can score it. But once a player scoops it and gets it to a certain height, you can't smack the stick anymore. You're going to risk getting a slashing call. You're going to risk hitting someone in the face, getting a high sticking, potentially a 4-minute penalty, right? The defensemen are going to have to drive their shoulder into players, which I'm also excited to see.
Oh yeah, because like that's the whole thing. Like the one thing I've actually enjoyed this year is, in some people out there, some like I guess I don't want to call them bleeding heart liberals, but the people that don't like fighting, they're actually unhappy with the amount of fights that have happened. I've liked it.
So have I.
Because like you're seeing the passion in the team. Like I'm not a big fan myself of Curtis McDermott being a defenseman for the Avs, but when he's on the ice or just knowing that he's on the bench, it's keeping everybody honest around McKinnon, Landeskog, Granton, and Newhook, Makar. Because if something happens, he jumps over the boards, and you just see everyone go, "Uh-oh," because he's going to try to drive his fist through your face.
Well, and that's what
Clifford, Simmons are there for the Leafs. Like they're there to do the same thing. They're there to be the bodyguards, and they got to put their fist through your face.
And that's what Montreal needs.
Yeah,
their goalie got ran the other day, and they just kind of let it happen.
Yeah,
Like no one did anything.
the only one that outside of Ben Sherratt that has the cojones to do anything is Gallagher, but he'll get ragdolled.
Yeah,
He's too small to do that.
they need someone in Montreal who can step up.
They need
right?
Paul Bissonnette. Bring back Biznasty.
There you go. He'll get the job done for him.
Let's see it happen.
Yeah. John Scott. Let's bring him out of retirement. You have one. Didn't he go to the All-Star game as a Montreal Canadian?
No, they actually put him in the minors.
Yeah.
Before, since he wasn't on an NHL roster, he was technically part of Laval or whatever their team was. He went as just a player, so he wasn't able to wear the Montreal Canadiens jersey.
Wow.
Wear the All-Star jersey the entire weekend.
What a guy. I was happy about that. Like, I get it. It's not a participation game. I totally agree with what McKinnon said. I'm not happy that Tom Wilson's going. However, in John Scott's case, I was very happy.
Yeah.
Because the fans wanted him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I get it. Like, the whole thing is the fans wanted him, and it's supposed to be a weekend for the fans. I get that. But again, it's the All-Star weekend.
But it was
not an
one.
All-Star.
The difference was it was one player, right? It's one player who the fans want to see. The problem with this year is like how many non-All-Stars do you have going? Or sorry, let me put it this way: how many better players don't get to go?
Yeah, there's a big discrepancy.
So that's the difference. Like, and yeah, if the fans voted in 5 non-All-Star players, that's different. I don't like that. Yeah, but they got their one vote collectively, and they all decided John Scott's our guy.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the list, and there's a couple of guys that.
Yeah, there is. Well, Tom Wilson's number one for me.
No, Nick Suzuki. He's not like. He has the ability to be there as an All-Star, but not yet.
Next year, sure.
He could be, but this year, no.
Why Jordan Eberle?
Because they needed someone to go.
They needed someone from Seattle.
Right? Like that's the problem. So, yeah, I don't know. They could have doubled up. Like, look at the players. John Tavares is having the season of his career.
He's too slow.
Don't care.
What of them?
Willie still having a fantastic season. The fact that Kadri didn't get invited.
That's insane.
And had to get voted. Yeah. Stamkos.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know. It's not
the
right.
The NHL's got some weird things that they gotta fix.
Well, it all because there was like a 3-year span where it was like Mike Commissaric got voted in by fans. Then there was someone else that had no right being there, and then John Scott. They looked at it as, yeah, okay, the fans are voting these people in, but also, too, we're trying to have the talent come and show off, which I get it. Fans want this and that. So they changed the way that it works, so that way they didn't have people voting in
randoms.
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to, like a Curtis McDermott. Like,
yeah.
So, like, who the hell is this guy?
Nick Ritchie. Like,
perfect example. At least McDermott has a good wrist shot goal from the top of the slot.
And Richie's not in the NHL. so like that, but that's what I mean. So like, I get that they want to support every team.
Yeah.
However,
so trying to grow the market.
And it's like, you know what? Put their logo somewhere. Like, just yeah. Be like, sorry. Yes. Sorry Suzuki couldn't make it. Brought to you by the Montreal Canadiens.
It's like,
here is Alexander Ovechkin.
Brought to you by the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
Legit All-Stars not be able to go because we have to. How does a team full of players that have spent their whole life striving to be the best need to have participation awards? Right?
It's a participation game, not an All-Star game, Brandon. Everyone's got to feel welcome.
In the title.
And you know what the worst part is? I think it was a couple years ago. One of the players actually said, like, I feel dumb going. I forget who it was. But they said, they're like, yeah, I'm only going because our team needs to send someone.
Was it like Komarov when he
I don't remember. It was a number of years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago. But they honestly said, they're like, I don't deserve to be going. There are other players who are more deserving. I am only going because I am on this team. Is essentially what the quote was. I forget who said it, but someone made that comment because they get it. Like, they're only there because somebody had to be there.
Yeah, I remember. I can see the face, but I can't get the name.
I don't remember who it was, but it was a number of years ago now. But yeah, but I don't know, guys. Pay attention because Zegras is changing the game.
Yep.
I'll double down on it. I'll triple like this. The NHL is changing. The game of hockey is changing, and Zegras is the start of the change. And if coaches don't get on board, the fact that you're seeing Huberdeau, the top point player in the NHL right now, doing this, you're going to see it across the league. And you're going to see it used more than one way. You're going to see it used as a goal. You're going to see it used as an assist. You're going to see, like I was saying, I gave the scenario where you're going to have a player come in, fake it, go up and around the boards, pull the goalie out of position, pull the defenseman out of position, and they're going to turn it into a play. Like, there are multiple ways that this is going to be effective. Like, you can do it standing still. You can do it with motion. It is changing the game, and it's been done in the past. No one followed on. This year, people are using it as a play, not as a way to score.
Yeah.
So pay attention. It's going to change. Coaches need to pay attention.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see, but I'll put money on it. The NHL is changing because of Trevor Zegras.
I like it,
and I am happy to have him in the All-Star game.
Oh, I think they should do that more. Invite you got like guys like Trevor Zegras that are great for breakaway challenges. Put them in. Like brings Zdeno Chara back because he holds the record for slap shot. Have like the hardest shooters come, like kind of like how the NBA has. Like you have your all stars that play the game, but then also have some guys who come to actually are for like the competitions themselves.
Yeah.
Like that would be the best way to do it.
You have your showboats. Yeah. You have your people who are fun to watch. But then you have because the fastest skater isn't fun to watch. I'm excited to see who's the fastest, but it's not fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like if I were to tell you, Chase, hey, you can only watch one, either save streak or fastest skater. Which one are you watching?
Picking save streak because I'm a goalie. You know that. You can't do that to me.
Fine. Breakaway challenge or fastest skater.
See, there's still goalies involved, so I gotta go breakaway challenge.
Hardest shot or fastest skater.
Okay, yeah, hardest shot. Yeah, good point.
Fastest skater.
Okay, I see what you mean.
You're 0 for 3 for picking fastest skater.
Fastest
I like
skater is
all
the
of
most
it.
boring out of all 7.
That's what it is. But I am excited to see who wins.
It's about the result. I would almost rather them do it like off camera and be like, hey, like when we were doing this earlier. Like
no, because I do like watching it. It is good to watch, but out of everything, it's kind of like my least favorite. The accuracy challenge might be my least favorite this year. We'll see.
Depend maybe the new accuracy challenge. We'll see.
See, but like 21,
it's back to the old format. It's 4 targets that break. Four targets.
So
I like that though, because it's going back to like being timed and being accurate. Like that's what it's got to be.
Under pressure.
I'm glad they're not doing the digital ones. Remember those kept breaking.
Oh, that was brutal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the old school foam. People used to play road hockey, like.
And accept the passes from the corners, not this. Here's a pile of pucks, shoot at will.
No.
Like you got to be able to accept passes in the slot, then shoot.
Yeah. The only disadvantage is you don't know who's feeding you the passes.
Normally, you get to pick the passers.
Yeah, I remember the one year. Oh, I guess it wasn't Ovi. I thought Ovi was getting passes from Backstrom. Backstrom was sending someone passes. Forget who it was.
And they were mint. They were in the team.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you couldn't beat it. He was like the resident passer that year.
That's something. I think if we're gonna do it that way, you don't get to pick your passers. You got to pick two. It's got to be 2 fourth liners that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then see if they can cradle the pass and then shoot.
Marchand comes up, just fires it around the boards. Oh, you missed that one. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and watch the whole thing. 7:30 Friday night.
Yes, sir.
And then we got one Leaf game for our next recording.
Is it Monday?
Monday against Carolina. I'm pretty sure. Is it in
Would you,
Carolina?
would you like to hear a very
No, I think it's
depressing
at home.
stat about the Leafs?
Yes, it's at home. Yes. What's your very depressing stat?
Per James Myrtle, today, which I believe was yesterday, he said this, marks 20,000 days since the Leafs' last Stanley Cup win back on May 2nd, 1967.
Gotta love it.
If I, to quote Captain Holt, pain. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, that's
that
not
hurts.
good. That does. But we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah, we'll see what happens this year.
They're in reach of first position.
They're looking good this year.
They are. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. When is trade deadline? It's late March, isn't it?
I think I looked this up in one of the other press. I want to
Wait,
say
March?
March. Give me 1 second here, folks.
I thought it was later. I thought it was like 23rd or.
Man, I am not looking forward to shoveling tomorrow. Oh my lord.
Why is there less snow out there?
Yeah, it's blizzarding right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's supposed to blizzard all night.
It's okay. That's what auto starts for. Start the
NHL
car.
James, you were right. NHL trade deadline is March 21st, not 23rd, but 21st. You were close.
21st. Okay.
Coming up.
It'll be exciting to see what happens there.
I'm very interested what some of these teams do, especially I'm excited what Vegas is going to do, and obviously what Toronto's going to do.
Vegas.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to watch. I know Tampa's pretty much already said they're not doing anything because
Why would you?
They don't need to. They don't.
I still think they're going as deep as everyone thinks that they are in the playoffs. But Vegas will be interesting because they have a lot of LTIR now. So it'll be interesting to see if they try to make room for like off-season acquisitions, or if they try to move some pieces and just go full tilt for it.
I think they're going to go full. I mean, they're first place in their division, not by a lot, but they're first place with 2 games in hand, which means they're going to get home ice advantage. So I think they're going to go for it. They go for it every year. This year they're going to go for it.
But they also got to start thinking at some point they can't keep going for it. You're going to have to sit back, and they're not going to have anything to build off of.
Roll the dice. Keep good times going.
Think about the future.
Yeah. There's no tomorrow.
Future 3.
There's no tomorrow.
Yeah. There's no tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to see. I want to see if Coyotes move anybody off their team.
Yeah.
Right? There's talks of Chychrun moving. There's talks of Manson.
Kessel. Yeah.
Sorry?
Chychrun, Kessel, possibly Christian Fisher, Nick Schmaltz. Like, there's a lot of people that they're going to eject.
Does
I wonder
Colorado go for
if
anybody?
Kessel.
Not
Not
For like
really.
for like a rental?
the only names I've really heard lately. There was a little. Again, this is all from Puck Empire because they seem to be pretty accurate when they have their fingers on the pulse of a lot of stuff. There was some talks about Claude Giroux, because again he's a UFA at the end of the year, so he'd be a full rental.
Then they'd have to hold salary there, wouldn't they?
They would retain probably I would say between 30 to 50%.
Yeah.
And we would have to send some back. I would think JT Comfort would go back, so that's 3.5 there. So
That lightens it up a little bit.
yeah, lightens load. But then the biggest ones I was hearing was there was a small rumor on Carey Price, but that's died down completely.
He openly said he wants to stay in Montreal.
Yeah, he's not moving.
No.
Then there was Fleury, but then the last one I heard on Fleury was Washington was making a push for him.
So
Edmonton's got a push for him, man.
yeah, so I heard the Washington thing about Fleury as well, which I think that would be a fantastic
Move
for him. But Elliot Friedman was saying that as a longtime Penguin, he doesn't want to do it.
No. And then the last thing I heard about the As possibly looking at bringing back Jonas Donskoy, but I'm looking at the roster right now. There's no reason to bring back Donskoy because really, you'd make a trade to bring him in, and we have multiple players that play his style of game.
Similar, yeah.
So
yeah, I don't think the Avs will do much.
they might. I think what they might do is bring in maybe some depth defense. Look at maybe because it sounds like Bo Byram's done for the year with the concussion symptoms.
It's too
which
bad.
I'm okay with. Stay home, rest up, get the head right, so he can try to come back full health. Because like, there's Ryan Murray, Travis McDermott. There's enough there. Justin Byron, who's in the minors, who's just he's going to be phenomenal as well. So there's stuff they can play with.
Yeah.
I think if they go for a depth defenseman, that would be wicked. I'd love to see Phil Kessel come to Colorado.
That'd be fun.
That wouldn't be fair.
Just because I want to see how many hot dog vendors pull up to the front of Ball Arena.
Man, 10 goal games minimum.
But yeah, imagine that second line of Kessel, Kadri, Nishushkin, or Burakovsky. Like, come on.
No team is slowing them down.
But
does Colorado have another Leaf on their team? Because then you could be like a Kadri, Kessel, and then a third Leaf. I don't think they do.
No.
We just wait till you guys are gonna throw away a player and then we swoop in and give you our like downhill defensemen.
Do you want Nick Ritchie?
Hell no. I told you guys you shouldn't have signed him in the first place.
Hey,
but
you know what? He's a good bench warmer.
Kerfoot, though, has been playing well this year for Toronto.
Kerfoot has been playing very well this year. Engvall's looked good the last couple games too.
Yes.
I've been happy.
Since we're talking trades and since we're talking Leafs, what do you think the Leafs will go after for the trade deadline for the playoffs?
Defenseman.
Yeah, but like anyone in particular?
So
you're thinking?
the rumors that I've kind of heard are Josh Manson. Off of the Ducks, I think. Yeah. I heard that 32 Thoughts there talking about it. He's the kind of player we need. I guess they're kind of shopping him. He would be a good fit for us, and I think he's only got 1 year left. So
like, what's going on with Muzzin? Because they said
still out with concussion.
They said he missed the last 2 games because of concussion, but there's been no updates. Is it severe? Is he like out long term?
They won't say when it comes to head injuries because they don't want too many people to know, like other teams.
Especially
because even though trade or like as much as we want to believe in the world that you target a guy that's coming back from injury, what corner he's in, you can take advantage of it. So they don't want someone flying in and hitting him again.
Yeah.
And that they keep a lot of the head stuff quiet. The one rumor I did hear for defense, and I don't think this is a good fit. It's too much money, and to be honest, it's too much risk, more risk than reward. Is Rasmus Ristolainen from Philly? I don't think the Leafs should go for him. I think he's overrated. Even though a lot of people say he's somewhat underrated, I don't think he's the proper fit. I think Manson is the right move for the Leafs defense, so it would be the best way.
See, I would love the Leafs to go for someone like Chychrun.
I was thinking Chychrun.
I would love that. But the problem is they'd have to give up so much.
That's the thing.
What does he make?
4.7. Is it 4.6? Okay. For the next 4 years.
4 years.
Also,
he's locked up for term. So
the problem is the Leafs don't have they can't afford him asset wise.
No.
Because it's first.
If you're the Leafs, do you give up your first again this year and roll the dice on that? Because
absolutely.
Yeah.
That window is closing extremely fast.
Yeah, I agree with that. It sucks, especially with what happened last year. But you got to do it. Like
they have to.
Yeah.
They have to. If he built this team to go for it, how can you not?
And the majority of the team is young enough that it's not like you have to plan for the future too much. Like they're all in their early 20s.
So I just pulled up. Josh Manson's 30 years old. He's got a no trade clause with 12 teams. He's $4.1 million. Hopefully we could get Anaheim to hold a little of that salary cap. The other one I heard, I think it was the Steve Dangle podcast mentioned it. They were saying, is it Sean Dursey?
From LA?
Yeah. They're saying bring him back. Because he was originally a Leaf, right?
Yeah. I disagreed with giving up that piece for Muzzin.
Yeah, and so that was at the time it made sense.
Yeah.
The Leafs needed someone.
Yeah.
Muzzin was a good player to get for
And
that.
he's been good.
He's been very good for us. It's just this year he's dropped off. But Sean Durzi, he's $800,000 this year. His contract's up the end of this year. He's the kind of player that you want. Like, it makes sense to go for him. I can't see LA giving him up though.
No.
Right? Like I can't unless you throw everything at him. I can't. Now they do have Drew Doughty,
We're not getting
who's a
there yet.
little out of our price
We're
range.
not getting
He's
there
tied up till 26, 27.
yet.
Holy,
That ain't good.
that's a lot.
Yeah, he's on a big contract.
That's not good.
Yeah, and a no move trade. Wow.
That agent was.
No agent, Brandon.
Did he do that? No agent.
He walked into the GM's office
Right.
and said, "Hey, I want $11 million." And they said, "Here you go." He said, "Thank you. See you later."
Well, Drew Doughty.
Yeah, because once Carlson got that $11 million deal, and walked into the front office and I want it, and they said, "Okay,
Yeah.
done."
And if they said no, he was gone.
Well, that's
So, yeah, if only his contract wasn't that much, he would be such a fantastic player for, like, dollar-wise. He is still a fantastic player, just dollar-wise.
Yeah.
I don't think he's worth 11.
no.
No,
10-9, sure. But I don't know about 11. I think that's it for me this week, guys.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Yeah. Same.
That's all. That's all I got.
Yep. So next week we got one game to talk about and some All-Star stuff.
Yeah.
Probably
See how it goes.
Probably focus on the All-Star stuff. I'm actually really excited now.
Yeah, I am too.
Again, mostly for the skills comp.
Yeah.
I might watch the game,
I'm not. I probably won't watch the game. It's on Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's on Saturday.
I doubt I'll have it on. I'm gonna be busy this weekend, so
Yeah.
we'll see though. We'll see.
Skills comp is
Yes.
what I want to watch.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we'll be back Wednesday again.
Yep.
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 Yeah,
Chase?
should be good.
Wednesday?
Yep.
Cool. All right, we will be back Wednesday. We're going to talk about the Carolina game next week. Like, subscribe, check us out on Spotify, follow us on Instagram. All the stuff. It's down below. It's in the bio. It's all that places. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Have a good night.
See ya.